And our first guest this morning is Mariya Ionova, a Ukrainian MP. Madam, a pleasure to have you with us this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. All right,
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
There's a lot to get to, of course, today, but let's start with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Kyiv, a surprise visit to Kyiv yesterday. We'll move to Kharkiv after. Now, was Blinken's visit a mere gesture of solidarity aimed at reinforcing U.S. commitment to Ukraine, or was there perhaps more to the visit than we know thus far?
Thank you. Good morning, Dzień dobry. And of course, before anything else, I'd like to use this opportunity and to express words of our sincere gratitude to Poland and the leadership of Poland, Polish people, of course, for your long-standing strategic support for Ukraine. But when we are talking about this visit, of course, we understand that this visit is very symbolic and very important because it's the first visit by the Secretary of State to Ukraine after the US Congress adopted the military aid to Ukraine. And as such, we understand that this visit is really as a manifestation, if I can say, of solidarity and support of Ukrainian people. Especially, we will talk about this further, especially of all the degradation of security situation, not only in Kharkiv region, not only in Pokrovsk, but I was in Donetsk region 1 week ago, also near Bakhmut, Kramatorsk, and other locations. But of course, let's not forget that the day before also, I think that because it's not only Mr. Blinken has visited Ukraine, but of course also Mr. Carpenter was in Kyiv on Monday, and who is also the Senior Director for European Affairs at the National Security Council of the United States. And you know that this visit was not a one-person performance, if I can say. So we see that the engagement of many American officials in Ukraine, and this is really important, especially before Forum of Peace in Geneva in June. But I think that we really, sorry to say, but I'd like to say that unfortunately we have Russian forces attacking, and it's like second invasion in Kharkiv region and in other parts of Ukraine. And we are expected, unfortunately, the attacking that they crossed the border in Sumy region. And I think that these developments on battlefield is really because that we haven't got support for 7 months. And Ukrainian army, of course, they keep fighting and eliminating the invading forces, but we are paying really very high price. And what we see on the battlefield, and really it's tragic result of the half-year politically motivated delay in the USA military support of Ukraine. We have to say about this because I really do not want such situations come back, and the delay of this military support assistance didn't pass without troubles for the activities of our soldiers. So for too long, there was a lack of weapon and ammunition. And believe me, I saw it by my own eyes. And also we see the percentage also of our air defense forces, because again, so the reality and the tide of war back in our favor. We really we have to catch up with the reality and turn the tide of war back in our favor, because we can win only all together. And also I'd like to say that the lesson learned, I think, and I hope for the West, that the flow of military aid to Ukraine, it has to be very operative Because the goal is all of us to win in this war. And that is why, of course, the importance of Secretary Blinken, he has sent also a clear message to Ukrainian people, to all the rest of the world, that the commitment of the US government to provide increased military support to the armed forces of Ukraine, also to stop Russian invaders and to repel them. But it's a pity for me that there was no meeting in the parliament with the leaders of the faction. I think that the parliament, in the parliamentary presidential republic, I mean Ukraine, it's really very important to speak with institution who is under constitution is number one. But I also think that really this visit has showed that we really need more air defense. And also Mr. Blinken has been here for 2 days, and I'm sure that he has a full clear explanation of our military guys what is going on, and the lack of air defense, really long-range missiles, drones, electronic warfare systems. That is why we really need them as soon as possible, because Russians, of course, their production is really very on
Absolutely,
the
and
high speed. And of course,
exactly,
sanctions.
and
Sorry
we also
to say, but sanctions are not enough.
And seeing that situation and having in mind now the visit of Antony Blinken, we also know that now in the act of solidarity, we also shown in on our news segment that he also play a bass. Some say that's quite symbolic. But my question is this what Ukrainians expected from this visit? Like you mentioned, there was a 7-month delay in military aid. So do you feel like, now, as of now, the US is offering a tangible solution, or is it more, let's say, grand words but no tangible action?
We were looking forward to have such high-ranking visits, and we also, I'd like to say, the important issue that there was on the agenda has been in coordination of the positions of regards the strategy of the Biden administration on supporting Ukraine. And I'd like to remind that to the audience that in accordance with the Congress bill, the Biden administration is to present its long-term strategy on supporting Ukraine in war against Russia in 45 days, which is early June. So, of course, I'm not excluding that the Ukrainian authorities used this exchange with Secretary Blinken to agree on the vision and the basis principle of such a strategy. But I really would like to see the continuation of sanction policy, because we really appreciate that the good news that the decision of President Biden to ban the import of uranium, Russian uranium, but much more must be done. And I'm talking not only about banking system, I'm talking also about LNG gas and other very painful directions for Russian economy. And that is why we are talking very direct that we really appreciate the military support, but at the same time we have to cut this links to military machine of Russia Federation. We need the weaponry on the front line and on the battlefield, because the main negotiators, the main heroes in this war are our armed Ukrainian forces who are beating Russian enemy. And from this battlefield depends all other political issues, because we see what Putin is saying, that he is ready to start negotiations, but now where the line is.